My brother had to choose between his bride-to-be and me. Here's what he did. My brother Charlie and I have been close our whole lives. I was never a girly girl. I'm the rough-and-tumble type. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, and this kept us close. I'm just 2 years older, and when our parents divorced when I was 10 and Charlie was 8, I slept on his bedroom floor for the first few weeks to make sure that he didn't feel scared or alone. Another thing that brought us together was a love of cooking. We cooked a lot together in our teenage years when Mom was working long hours. When I came out at 19, terrified to explain to my gathered relatives that the woman beside me was my girlfriend, Charlie approached her with an easy smile, shook her hand, and joked, "Do you play Mario Kart? Because if you do, you're family." A few years later, when he asked me to be part of his wedding, I was thrilled. I had joked with him that I'd be his best what man. "I can't get married without you up there with me," he said. He gave me a wedding invitation. "You're invited to Charlie and Ella's wedding, a celebration of love and togetherness." I was over the moon for Charlie. My little brother was all grown up and getting married. "You and Riley will be walking together," he told me. Riley is my fiancée. We've been together for 4 years, ever since the Mario Kart remark, and are planning our own wedding for next year. Riley and Charlie get along like a house on fire, and that means everything to me. My future wife and my brother getting along has always been important. It doesn't matter as much to me if my parents give their approval, but Charlie's opinion matters to me a lot. On the flip side, I'm not Ella's biggest fan. I think she's rude, demanding, and takes advantage of Charlie, but he loves her, and he seems happy, so I've done my best to just be happy for him. Ella dominates Charlie's time and often complains at how much he and I hang out. She thinks we have an unhealthy relationship for adult siblings. I think we're each other's most important family, and she hates that our plan is to open a restaurant together one day. Ella is my opposite in every possible way. She's always perfectly made up, beautiful hair, with a closet full of clothes that I suspect cost more than my yearly rent. When Ella met Riley, she said, "Oh, I didn't realize you were, Riley, forever outspoken, said, "Gay?" Charlie looked at Ella, surprised. "Babe, you know they're together. I told you that." "Well, yes, but I didn't think this kind of thing was serious." My eyebrows hit my hairline. "Well, I'm glad to inform you that us lesbians can in fact be in serious committed relationships." Charlie, Riley, and I gave polite laughs, but Ella didn't. The real issue came 3 months before the wedding. Charlie called me. "Hey, so, tiny thing. There is no such thing as a tiny thing before a wedding. Ella is finalizing the processional," he explained. "She doesn't love the look of 2 women walking together." "What do you mean?" "She just thinks it'll confuse people. She wants traditional pairings. So, she's paired you with Ian." My stomach dropped. Ian, who had been Charlie's friend since high school, and he's always been problematic. As an example, one summer barbecue when he'd had too many beers, he had leaned in toward me, put his arm around me, and murmured, "You just haven't met the right guy yet. I could fix that for you." And with the hand that he had wrapped around my upper arm, he brushed the side of my boob with his fingertips. "I'm not walking with Ian," I said flatly. Charlie sighed. "Okay." "No. He's been handsy, and he's made comments about turning me straight more than once. You know that." "Yeah, I know. He was drunk, and as for the comments, I think he was joking." "Well, it's not funny to me or Riley. It's disrespectful. I don't like him, Charlie. I'm sorry. I'm not walking with him. And anyway, you told me months ago I was walking with Riley." "Ella says it's important to her," Charlie finally said. "It's her special day." I scoffed. "It's important to her that I feel uncomfortable and disrespect my fiancé? She wants me to pretend I'm straight for the aesthetics?" "It's just a walk down the aisle." "It's not just a walk, Charlie. It's me being paraded next to a man who has openly disrespected me." He didn't have an answer for that. I tried again in person. Charlie came over one evening. We cooked together, we laughed, and after dinner we approached the wedding subject again. "Ella just thinks it'll look strange. 2 women together." "It'll look like reality," I shot back. "Society started accepting gay couples in, the 90s and even before that. It's 2026. It's not going to confuse anyone. All of our friends and family know Riley and I are together." "Yeah, she's worried about her family and friends, and the photos." I stared at him. "Really, Charlie?" He ran a hand through his hair. "I want you to be up there, I do, but I've really tried, and I cannot seem to convince her to change her mind. She's demanding I walk arm in arm with a man who's hit on me, and Ella knows it, and asking me to do it while my fiancé sits in the crowd like a dirty secret. I'd rather just sit with Riley and not join the procession." "But then Ian has no one to walk with," Charlie argued. Ella wants 6 couples, and if you back out, then we only have 5. She's not asking you to exclude Riley. She's asking me to pretend I'm straight for an afternoon because she'll like the pictures better." He didn't argue, he just quietly repeated, "It's her wedding, Kay." "And it's yours too," I pointed out. "Or did you forget that?" "If you want me there," I said, "there has to be some give. I won't walk with Ian." "I will always be there for you, Charlie, but I'm not going to do something that makes me that uncomfortable. I'll be in the front row, though, with Riley, supporting you." Charlie looked defeated. "What if we all sit down, talk it out?" I didn't give him an answer before he left, but I talked about it with Riley that night and texted him, "Okay." They could both come over, and we'd all talk it all through. Ella arrived at my house in a fitted cream blazer, a fitted tank to match, a large necklace covering her upper chest, and black pants with a slight shimmer to them. She was seriously overdressed, but that's just Ella. Riley and I sat on one side of the table in t-shirts and jeans, with Charlie and Ella opposite us. Ella folded her hands on the table. "So, I think this has gotten blown out of proportion." "I don't think it has," I said softly. "It's a simple request," she continued. "The bridal party walks in male-female pairs. It's traditional." "I'm engaged to a woman," I told her. "That's not traditional." Her smile tightened. "Exactly." Charlie shifted uncomfortably. "Ella." "No, let me finish," she said, her eyes never leaving mine. "I don't want the ceremony to become a statement." "My existence isn't a statement," I said. "It's just my life." "I just think," she pressed on, "that if you spent some time with Ian and got to know him properly, you'd see he's actually very charming." Riley's hand tightened around mine. "I've known Ian for over a decade," I told her. "Sometimes I've tried to overlook his behavior for Charlie's sake, but I keep him at arm's length. I have known him longer than you, Ella, and with all due respect, you have not had my experience with him, so please don't tell me how to feel about him." "He's teasing." "No, he's not," I argued, and it wasn't just words. Ella waved a hand. "Kaylee, sometimes I think you lean into this whole gay thing because it makes you different." The air left my lungs. "Excuse me?" Riley said. Ella's gaze flicked to her. "I'm just saying it feels performative sometimes, like you're pretending to be into women to stand out." Charlie coughed like he was choking on her words. "I love Riley," I said, simply, calmly, although my anger was rising in the background. "Riley and I have been together longer than you and Charlie have. There's nothing performative about us." Ella shrugged. "Then walking with a man for 30 seconds shouldn't threaten that." "It's not about feeling threatened," Riley cut in. "It's about respect." Ella leaned forward. "Respect is respecting the bride's vision." "And what about respecting your future sister-in-law?" Riley asked. Charlie finally spoke. "Ella, asking her to spend time with Ian." "I'm asking her to be open-minded." "To a man who's harassed me?" I demanded. "You're exaggerating, and you're all acting like I'm asking for something outrageous." "It's my wedding. I want it a certain way." "And if I can't give you that?" I asked quietly. Ella didn't hesitate. "Then maybe you shouldn't be in the wedding party." Charlie was pale, and I could see how much this was upsetting him. "Maybe," Ella continued, "you shouldn't come at all if you can't support us." "Ella," Charlie said, "you can't uninvite my sister." "Watch me," she replied. "This is my day, and I won't have it overshadowed by drama." "There wouldn't be any drama if you weren't manufacturing it," Riley pointed out. Ella stood abruptly. "Charlie, I'm not going to argue. Either the wedding is how I want it, or you can decide what matters more. Your wife or your sister, who won't do one small thing to make our day perfect." "Are you making me choose?" he asked, disbelief creeping into his voice. She met his eyes steadily. "Yes." I've spent months bending over backwards," he sputtered. "I let you control the guest list, the venue, the menu, everything. I told myself it was fine because you're stressed, but this," he continued, "this is cruel. You've been unfair to Kaylee and Riley, and you're being unfair to me." "Don't," Ella warned. "You're asking my sister to tolerate someone who doesn't see her as who she is, who doesn't respect her, kind of like you are." "If you cared so much about this, then why are you even still friends with Ian?" "Ian has been a good friend to me, but these days I keep him away from Kay. I don't force them to spend time together." "But you haven't stopped being friends with him," Ella argued. "So it can't be that bad, can it?" Charlie looked at me and paused, thoughtful. "I'm sorry, Kay. I probably shouldn't have stayed friends with someone who's made you feel like this." He looked at Ella. "If you want me to pick," he said, "I will always pick my sister." Ella's face twisted through several different expressions as reality began to sink in. There was a long silence, really long. I felt like Riley and I were just kind of holding our breaths. Ella broke that silence by shrieking, "Unbelievable! You will never find someone like me again!" at Charlie. Riley let out a "huh" sound and smirked. "You say that like it's a bad thing." Ella grabbed her bag and stormed out. Charlie was shaky and pale. I didn't know whether to cry or hug him. I did both. The next few days were chaos. Ella's texts were coming nonstop, and Charlie was forwarding me some of them. "You're throwing away our future over her. She's manipulating you." This was followed by a barrage of voicemails. He played one of them for me. "Charlie, baby, you know I didn't mean it like that. I was emotional. But she's always had a hold over you. She doesn't want you to be happy. She couldn't put aside her feelings for 30 seconds for you. Does that really sound like someone who loves you?" "She says I'm choosing sides," he murmured. "You are," Riley said gently. "You're choosing respect." Another message buzzed in. "If you cancel this wedding, don't expect me to forgive you." Charlie stared at it for a long time, and then he typed, "I won't marry someone who thinks my sister's identity is an inconvenience." He hit send. The wedding was officially called off the next morning. He and Ella put their house up for sale, and Charlie moved into our spare room until the sale could go through, and he could get his own place. Riley and I cooked him all his favorite meals. I handled the paperwork that he didn't have the energy to face. One evening, all three of us were in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for a stir-fry. Charlie was quieter than usual, yet lighter somehow. "I'm sorry," he said suddenly. "For what?" I asked. "For not seeing what was coming sooner, for not shutting it down sooner, for even asking you to walk with Ian." I wiped my hands on a towel. "Well, you were in love." "Yeah." He had an odd look on his face, a small smile, but confused eyebrows. "Maybe I was." Riley nudged him gently with her shoulder. "You're not sure anymore?" He chopped a green onion for a minute. "I think I got taken in by some TV version of what life should look like, and got enthralled with a beautiful, successful woman, instead of really paying attention to what actually matters to me, to what matters most. I think I've probably done that a lot." And then he looked at me, directly into my eyes, like he had something serious to say. "I meant what I said," he told me. "I will always pick you." "You shouldn't have had to," I answered. "But I'm glad I did." We were eating at the dining table a short time later when Riley pushed her iPad toward us. "There's a space that's available downtown. It looks perfect for a restaurant." Charlie and I looked at each other. "You ready for a new adventure?" I asked. Charlie smiled at me. "Yeah, I think I am." Later that night, as Riley and I washed dishes, she leaned into me softly. "When you open this restaurant, don't think I'm going to be the dishwasher." I laughed. "With a face as gorgeous as yours, I was thinking front of house," I said. That evening, we talked a lot about the restaurant dream that we've shared for years. Ella hated the idea of us working together, which meant she had always hated those plans. But Charlie seemed genuinely excited. And maybe among all the staff and customers of our future restaurant, he would find the right woman to be his wife. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future stories. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. This has been Tales by Rachel, where we breathe life into every story.